Hello, this is Shelly.
Hi, this is Nina Belgrand. I'm sorry. I was at the bank and
Oh, you're fine.
whatever you. Oh,
You're fine. I just wanted to give you a call back
yes,
and
ma'am.
talk to you about what happened. Um,
Yes,
I mean, it kind of blew up just because it was on social media. Um, I mean, I just wanted to get your side of the what happened with. Okay, first off, what is the name of the food truck? Because people are calling it different things.
okay, so the proper name or the actual name is La Casa de mi Abuelita,
Okay.
Momo's house, but everybody knows this as Momo's house.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. So it's just in Spanish and then in English. Um,
Yes,
okay. Gotcha. And now let me ask you this:
yes,
is it okay with you if I record our conversation?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And now
Um,
I have one question though.
okay.
Is it okay? I mean, I don't know how. Yeah, I know you want to know the exact details, but there are some curse words that were said. I don't know if you want me. I can admit those words, but
Well, I can always beep them out. That's fine.
okay.
Um, but I just from the beginning, what all I saw was, and I knew the food truck existed.
Yeah,
I used to live downtown, and I'm just in the process of finding a new house now. But so I knew it existed, and then I wasn't able to come visit yet. And then the next time I heard about it was people sharing this video, and I don't
yeah.
know. There's a couple videos, and I don't know who's who in the videos. So there's a guy wearing red, and then there's a guy wearing green, um, and
Okay.
I don't know which one is which. Um,
Okay. So let me. Was it an older man wearing the red shirt?
uh, I don't think so.
Okay. So okay, one of our partners that recorded a lot of the video, or like the really long one, which I understand is really long, and some people just don't really want to sit through that. But it was just more of for if something goes down, it's documented.
Right, right.
So the one that was like my husband, he was the one that I guess you probably heard seen the TikTok video.
Yes. So I saw.
That one is my husband. His name is Giovanni Villagrán.
Okay.
And the other one, I think you're probably thinking of. He's kind of young, Hispanic. His name is Eric Seekley.
Yeah, he looks like he's probably in his
Yeah,
20s.
yes, he is. He is
Um,
one of our partners.
I was gonna say it doesn't look like an old man to me. Um,
No,
but okay, so just so I know who's who. Um,
yeah.
and what happened that day, and what happened before that?
Well, I'll go ahead and start from the very beginning.
Okay.
Okay, so we had some issues as far as like, because there was, I know you've seen video, the photos of like the soap and stuff.
Right.
And that is actually because there was a lot of mud. So it was. You get the 60 out. Yes. Can you give me like 1 second?
No, you're fine.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Sorry, I had to go back to the ATM and then I'm going back through the bank line. So there was some issues with that. They were saying that we dumped water, and which they keep bringing up grease, and I would like to reiterate that we do not fry anything on our food truck. We don't even have fryers. There you are. Thank you so much. Thank you. And so the issue was with the bubbles. That was because there was a lot of mud, and they were cleaning around the food truck. And the only thing I really have to say as far as that goes is if they have a problem with that, so the problem for me is if we can't do that, how does an individual that can wash their car at their house any differently as far
Okay.
as soap goes?
So,
But we understand that, and we moved from that location.
okay, well, let me stop you for a second. So, are you
Okay.
saying that the picture, I'm looking at it on Facebook right now. The
Okay.
picture
All the
is,
bubbles.
you can see the yellow food truck in there. It says Mama's house, and then there's bubbles on the ground. Are you saying that's from
Yes.
washing the truck, or is that from?
Also that was from us washing around the truck because they had cleared out a lot of, to try to level it. So there was a lot of mud and stuff. So we never actually dumped any like gray water like they're accusing gray water and grease. I'm not sure. And besides that, we do have a gray water tank.
Okay, so I'm not in the food business.
Yes.
I kind of know what gray water is, and I know if you're a restaurant, you normally have a grease trap. Um,
Yes.
and even I know that Benton Utilities has had people to install a grease trap, even if they're not frying anything. Even if they're not,
Okay.
if they're a food restaurant, they have to still, like, for example, the ice cream place, not the one downtown, but the one that's across from Dollar General over on East Street.
Yes.
So they had to have a grease trap, even
See, we
though they're
actually
not
have
frying
a
anything.
we have a grease trap is attached to our grill.
Okay,
That's where we do all our cooking. So
gotcha.
we don't have fryers. But like I say, we don't have fryers and stuff, and we wouldn't do that because we would be screwing ourselves. Like, 'cause then we would have to fix everything, all the pipes on our food truck because of all the grease. We
Gotcha.
wouldn't do that. So, well, either way it goes, we moved from that location. We went to the business license. It really started with the business license. We were issued a business license on a Friday, and then we got a phone call from a lady from the city clerk. She called, and my husband had her on speakerphone from the very beginning, and the way she, okay, so the way she talked to him, it was immediately like, hold on. I mean, because it was like we did something wrong. Well, the people in that office didn't do it right. They didn't file everything right, and she revoked our license. But the way she talked to him was just like uncalled for. But when I called her back, I'm white. She was as sweet as can be, but she talked to him like really bad. So we went up to the office to try and fix everything, and he even went as far as to try and make things right. He bought them donuts, and her excuse was the way she talked to him was because it was Christmas time, and which I understand Christmas is stressful, but you shouldn't take that out on people. Well, we got everything taken care of as far as that. We paid the down payment for the utilities and went. But there's this one individual utility worker. He was harassing us. He kept coming up to the truck and, if I ever catch y'all dumping, which we understand. We've already been notified and stuff. But he just kept on. He kept coming. He would sit outside our business and watch us. Watch my employee. My employee said he was there for over an hour just watching us. We're not doing nothing wrong. We're just trying to work. And he just kept on and on. He approached me one time, and he was really rude. And I was like, I don't need to be told, over and over. I understand. I know that. Well, he come that very next day when nobody was there, and he put a citation on on our food truck. And the citation clearly states that we have 48 hours to comply. Well,
Okay, what was the citation for?
for dumping grease and gray water, which we hadn't done that. We just now
Okay.
got our water back working because from all the cold. So we've have water for like an hour that the day before. Well, he issued the citation when nobody was home or there, and he took the meter and turned our power off. And the thing is all of our food was on this food truck, and you cut power off without no notification, so that compromised our food for our business. And so we turned the generator on to at least get everything back to cold, because we were bringing other food to take, cover it that day. And he approached my worker and demanded that we turn off our generator because we're not allowed to work in the city of Benton. And which, I told my worker, I said, do not turn our generator off. That's our business. That keeps our coolers on and our food. So I told him, don't touch the generator, please. I went over there, and he was there. When he finally would come out the vehicle, we started talking and stuff, and he told me to shut the fuck up and let him talk, and then that's when it kind of went downhill.
Okay.
Because I'm sorry, I'm not going to allow anybody to talk to me like that.
Right.
And
okay, so did that happen when you were?
All the videos were made.
Okay, so let's back up a little bit to. I know that you were in downtown. That's what I was thinking that you were talking about. I know that you were in downtown Benton at the Main Street station.
Yes.
So you already had a business license then?
Yes, we were.
Okay.
We had that whole. Everything was, working as far as that. So
Okay.
That's where it got to be like, somebody has something against us being there. They didn't want us there, so we moved to that spot on Military Road across from AutoZone.
Right. I know where it is.
That is a private property, but they went as far as to fill in that landowners, the holes to the sewer company or the sewage, to not allow us to hook into the city. And I thought that was the whole purpose of us putting a deposit down and being able to use the utilities. But they would not allow us to even hook into the city. But the thing is the food truck that is at the Main Street station, the hibachi truck, is hooked into the city.
Okay.
And their reasoning was it was a trial. How can you allow one food truck to do something, but you won't allow us to do it?
So what is it they were saying was a trial?
That to hook into the city.
To hook what into the city?
Like our gray water.
Okay.
So we weren't allowed to even hook into the city. That's why we had to go out and buy another gray water tank.
Okay. So I'm not sure. So is that why you left Main Street Station?
Well, yeah. Well, because of they said that they were accusing us of dumping the gray water.
Okay. Who was accusing you of that?
Well, it started with the Main Street Station. That we just weren't going to work out there because of the gray water. That they said, which was fine. We left. We didn't have no hard feelings. But apparently, somebody didn't like us being there in Benton at all.
Okay. So did you leave by yourself, or were you asked to leave?
We had already made plans to leave. I mean, they terminated the contract, which was fine. We were already looking for another spot.
Okay. Now you said somebody told you that it was a trial for the other food truck at Main Street Station. And
to be hooked into the city.
I know they've been there for years. And there have been other, I don't know if the other ones are hooked into the city's system or not. I don't know. And when you say that, you mean that you can get water out from the city just like you're in a house?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Some of these things I don't know what it means, and so so I need to clarify. Um,
And
so
my husband talked to the other people with the food trucks, and they are. I don't believe they're hooked into the city, but they don't move their food trucks at all, and they dump their water, their gray water, right behind their food trucks.
okay,
They
now which
clearly pretend that they're not probably not going to go back and say it on camera or you know
now
just
which food trucks are doing that?
as far as I know, it was the what do you call it? It was called the meltdown or something. There's two
Gotcha.
other trucks there, but I have been there every day that we have there. We have never seen them take their food trucks outside of that Main Street station, and I mean, I've never seen them leave with any gray water tanks at all.
Okay.
So they're putting their water somewhere. Don't know where, but it's not going with them because we stay there long after they left.
Okay,
So,
but you've not seen them dumping on the ground?
not in particular. I can give you the information from my husband because he's the one who talked to them about the whole gray water situation, and he can tell you their exact words
Okay.
on what they said they were doing with their gray water.
Okay. So he talked to the other food trucks about what they were doing and what their experience
Yes.
was. Okay. Um,
Nobody else seemed to have problems but us
okay.
with the
Well,
situation.
I have a statement from Main Street Station from the owners.
Yes.
And they said that they contacted y'all several times about the gray water. Let me see. Let me find it. It said that adding Mexican cuisine to the food truck court has been a long term goal, and
Yeah.
the station has been honored to host Chef Giovanni Villagran. Is that how you say it? Of Mama's House. Honestly, I'm going to stop this quote. Honestly, I've heard a lot of people say the food is really good. So let me just insert that. Um, it says, unfortunately, despite multiple requests to dispose of gray water off site to remain in compliance with state laws, they were unable to effectively address the issue and were asked to leave. We had hoped to find another solution, but have not been able to do so at this time. Currently, we are working with the city to find the best solution for this type of situation moving forward. Now, they didn't say what type of situation they meant. Or is it disposing of gray water? Is it hooking into Benton Utilities system? I don't know. Um,
Can I say one thing about the Main Street station?
sure.
After we left, and we started dealing with the problems with this individual person from Benton Utilities, my husband was actually sent a message from the people from Main Street Station asking us to come back and explaining that they had talked to Benton Utilities and they said that us dumping gray water down the toilet was fine. I'm trying to figure out how is that any different than hooking into the sewer system.
So
What,
I,
what makes the difference with that?
I have a partial answer there, which is that the owner of Main Street Station does not live here. They live in another city. And so they did attempt to get an answer. And I don't know if they called the city or if they called Benton Utilities. But the whoever answered the phone, and I don't know who that is, gave them the wrong answer. And that's where the dumping down the toilet came from. So,
I didn't see how it was any different than actually hooking into the city. That didn't make
right,
no sense. We're
right.
not going to go back to the Main Street station. But how are you going to say that one thing's fine, but the other's not?
Right, and it all goes the same place anyway. So it's that filter, the grease filter, is what they're looking for. Um, and I know this much: it's not Benton Utilities rules. It's the state. It's the Arkansas Department of Environmental Quality. It's that state law. I don't know exactly what the law is, but that's who they're answering to. Um, So I know at least that much just from reading the comments and the post that Benton Utilities made on their Facebook page. So I mean, is there anything else that you wanted to because the Main Street Station, their statement says that you were looking for a place to dispose of that gray water. Um,
No, we went and got another gray water tank, one that's not attached to the truck. And that was already taken care of as far as disposing, because in order not to have to move the food truck, because that was our goal, was to have a permanent spot so we didn't have to drive that food truck anywhere.
right.
It's costly driving a big truck like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I would imagine it's costly just to fill up my little SUV.
yes, but the problem is after that guy that came up to us and he put that citation out, and it clearly states that we have 48 hours, which I can send you the pictures of the citations. And then he told me that, and I kind of went off on him, like, how you don't get to talk to me like this. He got mad because of we argued back with him, and he shut us down immediately. How are you going to send out a citation saying we have 48 hours to comply, but because you're mad,
Right.
you shut us down immediately?
Right. So yeah, that's my question. If he's giving you 48 hours to comply,
Yes.
but you're already in compliance, how do you prove that you're in compliance?
It was to pay the $500 fine.
Okay, and the fine is, what was that for?
That was supposedly dumping gray water and grease on the ground, which we weren't doing that.
Okay.
So
Um,
he says that he has footage of it, but they could not prove anything. I mean, you see the pictures that an individual posted of the bubbles and stuff, but there's nothing else.
right. Um, well, I don't
He wrote,
know.
he wrote out that second piece of paper after everything happened. Right then and there, he shut us down. Like, how is that? That's where we have a problem with.
Right.
Why are you treating us any differently than the way you are treating the other people?
So I know that he does have the authority to shut you down, and I don't know about the 48 hours versus just going ahead and shutting you down right there. So that was at the spot on Military Road, right? Is that correct? And that was the guy named Nathan. Okay.
I know that whenever I was talking to him, I said, "Where is your badge?" I said, "Until they revoke our business privilege license, you cannot tell us we have to leave the city," because that's what he said. "You have to leave this city right now."
Right.
I said, "I still have my business privilege license. They have not revoked my business privilege license." And he made it clear that he could do whatever the hell he wanted.
Well,
He has the authority to do whatever. And I will tell you that somebody from the mayor's office was there the entire time. And he made it clear they did not want no part of it. That Mint Utilities was their own entity.
they are their own entity. They answer to the city in order to do business in the city. The city makes ordinances for how the utility company will work.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are their own thing. They're not city employees. They just answer to the city. Um,
So they
so
don't have a power to shut us down immediately?
they do. As far as I know, they do. Just because of the state, that state law. So there's that. But what I'm curious about is two things. Number one, what made them think that you were dumping the gray water? Number two, what there were accusations of racial profiling. And so I wondered if there were, certain words they said that.
Well, it was just the way they treated my husband versus the way they talked to my husband versus the way they would talk to me. My
Gotcha.
husband is Hispanic. I'm not.
Okay.
Like I said, their tone changed dramatically when they would talk to me versus when they talk to him.
Gotcha. So
And that's where it
do you know who
comes
it
in. Like,
was in the permit office that you spoke with?
actually, I think I have a card. Can you give me like 1 minute?
Sure, sure.
Okay, give me 1 second, okay? I'm sorry, I was dropping some stuff off here at DHS. But are you still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we did everything we were supposed to do as far as like we got the business purpose license, the A&P, we've had health department permits. We're already approved for everything. We've done everything we were supposed to have done on our end.
Okay. So the health department, do they actually come in and check to see if you're able to dispose of that gray water properly?
Yes, I mean they check everything.
Okay.
We've been also approved by fire marshal. We had everything in order
Okay.
on our end.
Well, okay. So you're approved by the health department, the fire marshal. You had your permit, um,
Yeah.
and you had you are saying that you never did dispose of the gray water illegally. That um, the picture that I saw though of the soap on the ground, was that from the military road place or was it from
No,
the?
that was from the main street
Oh,
section.
okay, okay. So I wasn't sure about that. Um, and then, but somebody just showed up and said, hey, you're disposing your water illegally, and we're gonna catch you doing it. And I'm just going over what I heard you say, to
Yes.
make sure I'm correct. And
Yes.
and then they eventually gave you 48-hour notice, and then there was a dispute, and they shut you down right away.
It was that individual who made all the decisions himself.
Okay. So and that the name Nathan was mentioned in the video. Is that the same person?
Yes, and from what I understand, he apparently has had other complaints about him. I don't know by individual. Like actually, my husband knows of another taco truck that apparently had problems, and they didn't last. And that's why I said I understand now why there are no taco trucks here.
Okay.
Before we even moved to Benton, I was told by a lot of people that Benton's not really a good place for Hispanics. I don't, I'm not saying that the city the entire city is, racial, racist or anything like that. I'm not saying that, but that's what I've been told is it's just not a very good place for Hispanics.
Gotcha. Well, I know there are Mexican restaurants,
Yeah.
and plenty of them, but I don't know. I'm trying to think. I know there's. I'm trying to think if there's something over on Highway 5, if that's in the city of Benton, but I'm not sure. No, there's a hibachi and there's a something else. but I'm not sure. I'm just trying to figure out why would they treat a truck differently from a brick and mortar business, whether you're
Yeah,
using their electricity or not. Seems like they would want you to use their electricity and pay for it.
yeah.
But
That was what we thought.
and their
The
water,
one
of
that
course.
we made a deposit and everything to get the electricity turned on, which it was a long process for I don't know why, but they took their time on as far as getting our utilities on, so we actually had to run off a generator for a whole week
Hmm.
before they would even allow us to, they would come out and get the utilities turned back on, and we hadn't had the utilities on for maybe a day or so.
Okay. So
When they come
you.
out and took the meter, and as far as I know, is with private property, the landowner has to pay for that meter. And I will say that when we talked to the landowner, the property owner, he said that he's had problems with the Benton utilities before, coming out and covering his holes and everything without his knowledge. And
Gotcha.
he said that they've never had. I mean, there's never been a problem in the many years that he's had. Not taco trucks individual, but food trucks there until now.
Hum. Well, I know that the utility company has access to it's the right of way, so that they're able to come on whether it's private property or not. For
Yeah,
example, when the fiber internet was coming through town, none of those people had to ask if they could dig up your yard and put in the fiber cable for your internet.
yeah,
They just were able to do it because they have the right of way for a certain amount on the land. But that sounds kind of weird that they would just come out and not tell them locally. Leave a note or something. But so you're saying that you when this guy Nathan first started showing up, was he at the downtown location or at the military road location?
just military road.
Okay, all right, gotcha. So with those with the folks who own the downtown place, the Main Street station, I I guess why did they think that you were not in compliance?
Well, because of the soap and stuff that was on the ground, and
Okay,
there was, we had, and the thing is there was rain all there. There was water. There's water around that was around, but it's been raining so much. So I don't know where they're getting that. They're seeing us dumping when no, I don't know. I really don't know as far as like that goes, but
right.
nevertheless, we just decided to part ways anyways with them, and we had already started looking for another location just to avoid the problems. And but like I said, they gave us a letter and about not dumping, which we understood that. So I don't know why they kept saying that we're dumping gray water and grease on the ground
Okay,
when
when
we
you
weren't.
say somebody gave you a letter, that was the Benton Utilities?
I think it was whenever we got everything finally approved as far as like the I think that we got it when we made the deposit because my husband is the one who did all the make the deposit for the to get the utilities turned on, and the location on Military Road is when they gave us the letter. It wasn't like in a state in. It was just like an overall. I guess what they would give all businesses. Don't
Okay,
not to do this, not to do
gotcha.
that, and
So not a warning letter, just like a rules. Make sure you do it this way.
yes.
Okay.
But that individual in particular, though, he made several. He stopped several times with us at military, saying, "If I ever catch y'all," I mean, it was I understood that. I mean, after three or four times you stop by within one day. I don't need you to come and tell me again.
Right.
I understand. We know the rules.
Right. So, just as a side note, did he ever eat there?
Oh no, I
Just
don't think so.
curious.
But
I was just
I
curious
know
about
that
that.
the police officers that were there, we called them out to try to, you know, at least keep everything civil. But and the police, they were very kind. They did, and respectful. And we actually had customers come up when all this was going down, trying to order, saying, we support y'all. And I asked the police officers, I said, is this okay? He said, well, according to y'all have 48 hours. So as far as I'm concerned, y'all are still good.
Okay.
So we were still able to serve a few people that day that come and to support us, but like I said, he don't for some reason had something against us, because that's when and when I kind of went off on him after he told me that, he got mad, and that's why he shut us down immediately.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, it sounds like it's a lot of misunderstanding, and I know your husband said on the video that that you were talking to an attorney about it, and I don't know if you planned on just trying to not take him to court, but just trying to mediate. Um,
Yeah.
and just make things right. I know that a lot of people said that your food is really good. I'm sitting here
Yeah.
looking at the pictures, and I'm like, oh, I never got to try that. Um,
We've
but
never had any problem with we have our location in Cabot. We've been in North Little Rock several. We used to sit up at the filling station in North Little Rock. We've been here in Little Rock, and we've never had any problems until we went to Benton.
yeah, well, I hate that you had this experience, and I'm not sure. It's hard to tell what everybody's thinking when there's so many people involved. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, it's I just wanted to make sure that I give everybody's side. And so I don't know. I'm probably going to, with your permission, I'm going to just make a compilation of our conversation, and everything that everybody said. And I don't have sides because I'm not there. You know,
Yeah.
um,
I understand.
my only side is I like Mexican food.
And
So
that's why I went there, because we have been asked by so many people. Y'all come to Bit, y'all come to Bryant, and so that's why we decided to, kind of take the chance. We moved from the filling station in North Little Rock, and we moved over to Benton, because we have a location. We're actually partnered with Stone Throw Brewery in downtown Little Rock, so we just decided to kind of branch out a little bit
yeah.
and take the chance and go there.
Well,
Because there are no taco trucks. Those Mexican restaurants, I will tell you, that's not authentic. Those are usually Tex-Mex.
right, right. I know it's just from looking at the menu items here. I can see there's stuff that I can't order in those other. I mean, there's some restaurants that are different, but yeah, I honestly cannot think of a taco truck. And I lived in Los Angeles for 3 years, and there were plenty of taco trucks there. Like as soon as I got to work, there was one parked out in front making breakfast burritos. But yeah, so I can't think of one that's anywhere in the county.
Well, my husband actually, he knows the other taco truck that tried to set up in Benton. He knows the owners for that one, and they didn't last very long, maybe a month or so.
So do you know what their story was?
I don't know per se, but I can give you my husband's contact information, and maybe he can,
Yeah.
help you with some of those things.
Yeah.
I can give him your contact information. Maybe he can give you a call to kind of give you
Yeah.
those details.
I'm curious about that, and I don't know if I probably wouldn't include that in this story,
Yeah.
but I'm curious about that. And I mean, I just want to, everybody wants to just be happy and chill and do the right thing, and you want to think that everybody's doing that. Obviously, not everyone is. If you start talking to somebody about politics for 2 seconds, you'll hear so and so's doing this, and is it true or not? You never know. Yeah, 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 exactly. But
This is mine and my husband's only income, and we're trying to do everything the right way. And I mean, because we started this business when COVID hit, and it was a long process, and we put all of our money into it, and this was our only income. So I mean, you're messing with my family now.
yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
okay.
provide for my three kids if I don't have a business.
Well, I think you've presented your case, and I'm getting calls to go to lunch from my group chat. Um, but sorry, I'm getting distracted. I have ADHD. Um,
Got a lot of stuff we still got to deal with today, so.
well, I come into Cabot occasionally, and so I'll look you up there if I can't find you elsewhere. And
Cabot, if you know Highway 5, you know where Highway 5 is in Cabot?
yeah,
We are right off of there. It's right beside a Camp Canine on
okay,
Highway 5. It's a few miles away from the interstate, but that one is actually it's a little building, not really so much as a taco truck. It's our taco building.
okay.
But
So you're
feel free, please stop and, you know, so at least you get an opportunity to try our food.
yeah. I'm trying to look and
We
see exactly where this is compared to where I know where things are. See, normally when I go to Cabot, I'll eat at Nachos. I don't know if you've been there.
nacho
Um,
nachos or something.
yeah, they're like behind Arby's or something.
I'm not actually from Cabot. I know a little bit about Cabot, but I probably do know where you're talking about. So,
So,
we're just trying to make an honest living. That's all
I
we're
see.
doing.
I see where you are right now. I see it now. So I normally go the other direction on Highway 5,
Yes.
but yeah. So I'll have to check that out. But and I got a couple of friends that live in Cabot too. I'll tell them to check it out. But
And everything is homemade and comes from our farm because we actually have a farm. So
oh,
we make
that's
our own
interesting.
cookies. I mean, our beef is coming from our cows. Um, we make everything ourselves, all the way down the sauces, the cheese dip we make ourselves. So everything's worth at least stopping and trying it out.
That's pretty cool. It all comes from your farm. Um,
Yes, that's what when we say farm to table, we actually mean it.
yeah, or farm to truck.
Yes,
Um,
well, yeah, farm to truck.
all right. Well, I appreciate you, giving me your side of the story, and I'm going to try to really get this out today. It's a lot of pieces to put together, and to be complete. And because a lot of people have already heard the story, but they haven't, some have heard one side and some have heard the other side. For example, some people who saw the Benton Utilities page probably had no idea what they were talking about
Yeah,
in
they
their
really
statement.
didn't allow nobody to actually comment or anything like that. They just kind of put out a general statement.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. It says it's limited who can comment. So, yeah. Uh,
And see, somebody actually, I need to call the lady from, she's over HR for Bent Utilities because I wanted to file a formal complaint against the guy because of the way he talked to me. I'm sorry, if you're in that position, you need to, you need to have better communication skills with people, being in a position that he was in, and he did not have them at all.
Yeah. So yeah, for sure, if you're going to represent a company, you need to. People get angry, but you need to be careful.
Yes.
So,
So that what the what went down between me and him. I wish it would have been caught on camera because then y'all would really see the way he was acting.
yeah,
But I mean, at that moment, I'm not thinking, I need to pull out my camera and record it.
right. Yeah, and you just never know when somebody's going to act crazy, and then you pull your camera out and they stop, and so it's kind of
Yeah.
hard to I mean, and I'm not saying, like I said, I'm on nobody's side. I'm not saying anybody did anything, but
Yeah.
that happens to me when I'm trying to just get video of a squirrel that's in the backyard.
Yes.
So,
And my husband and our partner that recorded the main stuff, they didn't show up till after everything, after that first incident went down. And as you see, he changed his the way he was doing it when he realized everything's being recorded. So,
oh,
but
well,
I appreciate you contacting me, and if you have any other questions, I can give you my husband's information, and you can get something from him if you want. Or I know that you said you would be interested in finding out about the other taco truck, and I can let him know that for sure.
yeah, I'd be interested to know, what happened and if the same thing happened, and were they dumping their gray water and that's why they thought that you were, or did they do nothing wrong and were chased out of town, or some other scenario. I'd be curious to
Yes.
know what happened, because like I said, I like food. I like Mexican food in particular, and I don't want people being chased out of town.
Yeah, I understand that. So I'll let him know as far as that goes for the
Well,
other taco truck.
okay, all right, that sounds good, and I'll just text you back if I have any other questions. But I think you presented your story, so I sure appreciate you, Nina. I'm gonna go ahead to lunch right now. Uh,
Yes, ma'am.
so I'll let you know. Like I'll message y'all when I'm done with the article.
Okay.
So anyway, what? I'm sorry, I'm getting messages. Anyway, well, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right, bye bye.